Everyone, Fabtech Orlando. I'm here with Jesse McCollum, Chief Welding Officer with Everlast Welders. Jesse, nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure, guys.
Hey, tell me a little bit about Everlast and the history of the company.
So 2024 actually marks the 20th year of business for Everlast. So we haven't really announced that it's a huge year for us. We're kind of waiting for that, that 25-year mark, but 20 years in business this year. And we've come a long, long way in 20 years. Probably, I think if you look back through the history, probably further than any other welding company in 20 years. But we've got our brand new product line. Kind of everything's reimagined, but Everlast started out 20 years ago as actually the owner owned a mini pit bike company.
Really?
And ended up kind of building those up, kind of upgrading them, having a custom frame built, having a custom motor built, custom suspension. All of a sudden you had a really nice bike. It was an import, but it was a really nice bike. Sold that company off, but as he was taking those out to demo them, he's at Pismo, he's at Glamis, he's seeing all these guys with generators. Well, this is back in 2002, 2003, where a 4,000 watt generator was $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Not like today.
Sure.
So he thought, well, I'm importing these. Let me see if I can import these now. So he started importing generators. A couple, 2-3 years after that, hey, I need a MIG, I need a plasma, I want a TIG machine. Can you get it? So Everlast was born. We started importing MIG and TIG machines, and at first, full disclosure, yeah, they were pretty much a rebranded house brand unit from a no-name factory. But we've gone to where now all of our design and testing is in the U.S.
Really?
These are all a spec-built machines, so we send our factory, we have a contract with a full list of specs on this is what we want. We want these components. Let's do it. They send it over for testing. I'm actually the one that does all the prototyping, whether it's MIG, TIG, or the lasers. I do the testing. I tell them, hey, we need to change this, and they change it. And then 20 years later, here we are with some top of the line equipment.
Man, it's incredible. Tell me a little bit about this unit here. What do we got going on?
This is actually my personal baby. So this is about 3 years of my life. This was my machine. So I spec'd it out, programmed it. This is my unit, and we redid the bezel on it this year. So we wanted a brand continuity. So all of our machines have a similar look, and not this one looks this way and this machine looks totally different. So we were using this style of bezel on our smaller units. We reimagined it for the larger units. So now the coolers integrate real nicely. Going to this style of bezel, it also allowed us to go to a 7-inch wide screen on the Typhoon 500. So we got a really nice, I think this is probably one of the biggest displays in the industry on a TIG unit. But it makes it very easy to see what's going on and see what you're doing.
Man, it looks like it's got a lot of features and options. Tell me a little bit about what it can do.
So this will be one of the most feature-packed machines on the market as well. So as we run through, we're on AC right now. We do have a process selection button, so you can switch through your different processes. Oop, there we go. So it's a brand new menu. I'm still learning, learning the kinks in it. But it'll show you, what process you're going to. You select your process. Then we've now got all of our options available. So there's no hidden menus on this unit.
Wow.
When we were first doing the testing on the original Typhoon, we were finding that some of the other brands, the customers were not using all of the features. And part of that was they didn't either, number one, know how to use them, or number two, where they even were on the menu.
Sure.
So we didn't want any hidden menus on this. So if you go down to some of your more advanced settings, like we have our pulse, we can turn our pulse off. So it shrinks the menu down. You can go out of that. We have our independent amplitude. So this has independent amplitude and independent waveform. And you just simply turn it off. You don't have to go through 4, 5, 6 different layers of hidden menus to get to it.
I didn't realize it had that kind of feature to it. Well, so really it kind of opens up the market to where the capabilities of this machine.
Yeah,
and
so
we
really designed this machine to compete at the high end. So this is a precision TIG minded and aerospace minded. It's meant to compete up there with what people would consider the top units on the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without name calling.
Sure, certainly. Fair enough. Awesome. How about these two over here? Which one?
So kind of the same thing with this one. So this will be the redesigned cooler. We don't have the 500 on a cooler right now. This is the cooler that it'll sit on.
Sure.
This is our 400 EXT. So from our EXT lineup, I think it's getting, it's pretty long in the tooth. We've made advancements every 2 or 3 years. We update it.
Sure.
The EXT lineup's been around now for almost 14 years.
Wow.
So this was
longevity.
our top of the line machine up until the Typhoon came out. No super new features on it this year. We did have some trickle down from the Typhoon, so the way we meter the waveforms on AC trickled down to the Typhoon, from the Typhoon to this. We're also using a high voltage solid state inverter now for the starts instead of high frequency points. And this machine now has fan on demand as well.
Wow.
So we don't have the loud fan running all the time. You can notice that all these machines sitting here are real quiet.
Yeah, yep,
So
absolutely.
we've gone through the lineup and done that on a lot of our units.
A lot of upgrades.
Yeah.
What about this wire feed system here?
So this is our MTS 275. So this is going to be one of the most powerful multi-process machines on the market. So AC, DC, TIG, high frequency start, full feature MIG, full feature stick.
Really?
And we actually offer this machine with a plasma now as well.
Really?
So we have full feature AC, DC, TIG, stick, MIG, and plasma in one unit.
All in one package,
This one doesn't. This one doesn't have plasma, but we've got one back there in the back. That's our true all-in-one.
Wow, that's handy, especially for like somebody who's hobbyist or whatever the case may be.
Like this machine, the 275, it is good for production. It's got enough amperage. It's got the duty cycle. It's got the size. The Hurricane, which is our all-in-one with the plasma, it's meant for a guy, you know, small. Maybe he's got a 1-car garage, 2-car garage. He doesn't have the room for 4 machines. Now he can get a 220 amp machine that's in a small package, fits in the corner, but he's got the capabilities of, you know, a full fab shop.
Absolutely. So it doesn't take up a lot of real estate, and you have all of it right there.
Everything you could,
turnkey.
Really everything you could need. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, incredible, man. Yeah, maybe show me some of the more of the plasma cutters. Sounds like you guys are into the cutting side of things. Let's take a look at that.
So we are getting into the cutting sides of things here pretty soon. We're actually, because of the storm, our big debut got delayed, but we are coming out with a fully custom built CNC laser cutting system as well.
Really?
So I don't know when is it going to come out, but we need to let's keep it plush for a little bit. But
sure.
We are going to debut a CNC laser cutting system, anything from 4x4 up to 5x10, open bed and enclosed systems.
Wow.
They were supposed. That's why we have kind of a big gap in the booth. They were supposed to be taking up most of it.
Totally understand.
But on the lasers, that has been a market that we've been really crushing this last year. So this is our cleaning only system. This is a portable unit. It's 120 or 240 volt input.
Okay.
300 watt pulse wave cleaner. So not a welding unit, but it is meant for cleaning delicate things. Like we can actually remove ink off of printer paper with this unit.
Really?
We can take ink off of cardboard. You can take ink off of like a Red Bull can. I've got a video of that.
Oh, no kidding.
Or taking like varnish and paint off of wood. So that's wild. These are meant as a cleaning only. But we do have our laser welding system up front. We can take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a big year. This is
man, you got it
everything we've talked about's new this year. So this is our Red Sabre 2000.
Wow.
This is our welding. So all of our Red Sabre series is weld, cut, clean, and weld clean. So weld passivate. Wow. So they're a 4-in-1 unit. It's all the same programming from 750, 1250, 1500. We have an air-cooled, water-cooled 2000, and we have a 3,000 watt unit in this series. So
holy smokes. Wow.
A huge lineup ad for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to range anywhere, the low side, about 5,000 up to 18,005 on these units. So
wow. No kidding. Wow, that's Red Sabre 2000.
Yep.
Man, excellent. I didn't realize you guys are into that market. So
yeah,
it's
it's been
cool.
We've kept it pretty low key. We were really waiting for Fabtech. We didn't, unfortunately, kind of with the CNC table. Some of our shipments got delayed. We didn't have our enclosure this year, but next year in Chicago,
there it is.
Come check us out. We're going to have probably the biggest laser demo booth on the block next year.
Heck yeah. So I appreciate you taking the time and
my pleasure, man.
Sharing me, the latest and greatest from Everlast. You guys have come a long way. Congrats on the 20 years. That's incredible.
We have come a long way, especially this last 4 or 5 years. So if anybody has some experience with Everlast previously, check us out again, because this last 5-6 years we have made some huge improvements. We've really gone back and reinvested through the whole lineup, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised what we can offer people now.
Hey, from a hobbyist fabricator, I'm looking this over, and man, just having limited real estate in the garage, you know, if you can get it all in one package,
Exactly.
that's speaking my language a little bit.
Man, I super
Jesse?
appreciate it. I'm going to get back to the booth. You guys have a
Absolutely.
great one, man. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
If you're at Fabtech in Orlando, check out Everlast and Jesse.